This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, and it's the holidays! Yay! We got a whole crew, and it's the holiday party, and we got a bunch of people in here. But we also have with us here remotely from Studio C in the Great D, Big D in the Great. Oh, Chilla, I don't have you on. So I even have you on a monitor right now, so you're gonna have to give me a moment on this one. Chilla,
because I can occasionally I can see the people there.
Okay, yes. Well, yeah, they're around. There though. But I guess I can swap this out now that you're Chilla. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, excellent. And then we have, let's see, going down the couch. What do we got here? We got Merlin and Eamon from A Gay in His Enemy podcast from right here in the network.
Hello.
Hola.
And also with us is, I'm looking for an HDMI, Dave Podner of the iPhoneography podcast.
Hello.
Like creeping off in the dark. We don't have enough lights. We don't want to turn on all the lights because we want to keep the mood, but they're out there. And the Riz is with us, who
I've actually gotten in my car and drove here.
You drove here because we said we have I don't know what I teased you with.
Probably pizza.
Probably pizza. We definitely have pizza. And there we go. Now we got a Chilla cam. There you go. We got the glory shot of the Christmas tree at first, so now we got back to you. Chilla, how you doing?
Good.
And more people were coming in. Holy crap. Intern John's here just in time.
Headsets.
We just started. Hello. But anyways, it is the holiday edition, and we do like to get everybody together as much as we can here and go through, first of all, your awesome thing of the year. And then we're going to shame everybody on their predictions from last year. And then we're going to get our predictions for 2025. So let's get started with our awesome thing of the year.
Awesome thing of the week.
Who wants to go first? Anybody? I see them all listed here. I could pick somebody for you.
I mean,
you had one. You have a link.
The right document.
I have one. The link that is in there is actually my prediction for next year.
Okay.
So, my awesome
Give it.
thing for this year is the Apple Vision Pro.
Okay.
Like, that thing came out at the beginning of the year. It's stunning. I haven't actually gotten to get my hands on one yet, but
we can
really
just go and do a demo at the store like anytime we want.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make a day of this.
We should. Put it on the calendar.
Let's
you go.
I just haven't brought myself to do it. And also, I feel weird testing it in the middle of an Apple store.
I kind of need somebody to be my backup. It's
okay.
Like, don't sneak up on me while I'm in the virtual world.
So if we're each other's protector,
yes,
we'll be okay with this.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have to do this now.
I also really like the idea that you can get prescription lenses in it, and that's just. They thought of everything. It's fabulous.
And that's what you get for the cost. What's that, Chilla? Chilla has one.
Yeah, I have one. So they have the prescription lenses in the store. So whatever you can't take them home with you. But whatever you need from a prescription, so you can actually accurately test it.
That's wild.
The other interesting thing is you could probably go to the store multiple times, because if I remember correctly, when you go in for the demo, you have to pick different things, and you can't do them all. So you can actually probably go in there at least 2 times before you actually get through the entire demo.
We also do have multiple Apple stores in the area. So there's 3 separate Apple stores that we could go to. We could do the tour.
Oh,
would they be weirded out if we scheduled them all on the same day? Is that strange?
I didn't even schedule mine. I just walked in.
Yeah, if you're going doing that whole thing with the, they don't have to know.
You don't have to know.
No one has to
Tommy
know.
Apple's
Nobody
gonna
has
know.
to know. There you go.
Logistics may be the only issue, though. Driving around.
Oh, wait a second. You're still driving around. Yes, McKnight Road.
So,
Okay.
I mean, you can hit South Hill,
McKnight Road,
Shady
South Hills
Side.
Village,
Yeah.
and
West
Shady
Park.
Side. Not after
Let's
next
wait till
week.
after Christmas to try this.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
A week between, I think, would be perfect for something like this, right?
Yeah.
So,
that weird period between January and February where it's just gray. all the
Nothing.
time. Yeah,
Just
that's
great.
fine.
Let's go live in Apple, or we can all go to Chilla's house. I don't know. Either way. So, Chilla, would you host an Apple Vision Day here at the studio?
Well, you know they're custom fitted, like and they're custom boxed for you
Oh.
in the store.
So
like the
he's saying he can't share.
I can
'cause
share, but
my
like
fat head's not fitting in
I don't
his.
know. Like I won't. If you wear
They are
glasses,
adjustable pretty good.
I can't help you
Yeah.
unless you're the exact same prescription,
Yeah.
and unless you have a very close face shape to mine. Because that's the one interesting thing about that device, right? Like when you go in and try it on, and they go prepare it for you, they're boxing it on the fly.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like the face shield, the thing that cuts out the light, like all of that is fitted for you. And while you're there doing the try on, they're like it's like going to the for your eye exam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this one better or is this one better? Do you like, how does this one feel? Is this one blocking out as much light as possible?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's, and then when you're done, they actually pack the box in the back of the store.
And then if you try to leave without buying it, they take out your knees.
That's what
Yeah,
everything. No, yeah,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes, allegedly. Thank you, for your legal department. Thank you, Riz. So, but yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think it's pushing the right stuff. Like the fact that on my phone is a spatial button to do video for the. Oh my God, I should be doing video and sending it to Chilla.
Yeah, if you let me take a look at it, I'd be happy to.
Listen, I'm going to send you a lot of wrestling footage.
Oh, that would be
Right?
epic.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got a 16 plus, bro, or whatever the hell. I accidentally put it on spatial like the other day. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to give you a spatial video of our Christmas tree situation here tonight, Chilla, and you're going to let me know how it goes. Okay. So I like this. Chilla, you're like your eyeballs are our guinea pig. So
happy to give it a look.
There you go. Literally.
And if you like share it through the Photos app, it'll just come up on the device.
Chilla, do you have an awesome thing of the year?
I do have an awesome thing of the year. So my awesome thing of the year is, and you may not be familiar with it. It's a company called Unify. They make some pretty awesome networking equipment. And it's gauged at like I would say like home quasi professional user, anywhere through, you could deploy this in, medium to large. You may even make an argument for enterprise.
Is this
their equipment is pretty amazing. And if you go up to the top, and I think it's the switching, they have multiple different switch types. They have compact for your home. They sell a home gateway. You may want to be under the gate. Is there? Oh, cloud gateways. There are cloud gateway section. Sorry, it's a little small. Yeah. So if you go to the compact you can go anywhere from like the size of a modem that someone's going to ship you to, a rack mount switch.
Jeez.
All of their stuff has all kinds of built-in tech. Whether it's firewalls, you can build out VLANs. Their devices typically, support, 300 to 1,000 type devices or more, depending on how you scale and expand their environment. A lot of their networking equipment is actually power over Ethernet. So if you can run an Ethernet cable to the device, it gets power, which is pretty awesome. The other thing that they do is they actually have like built in what they call teleport. So now from my phone, I can literally tap a button in their app and it VPNs me back into my home network.
Jeez.
So I can get to all my file shares, get to all my PCs, get to pretty much everything when I'm remote. I had already done some significant wiring around the house. And some friends at work got me like a starter kit with a compact gateway, an 8-port power over Ethernet switch, and one of their U6 devices. The one interesting thing is if you look at their access points, you'll notice they're your typical kind of circle access point with a ring that's typically lit up in blue. And there's like a U, if you scroll up on that page, I think it is, there should be under the Wi-Fi section. There you go. You can see there's their APs. There's that U in the center. The interesting thing is, the more and more I look around me when I go into different restaurants and stores and various places, the more and more I see their equipment. I think when we were in Ocean City, even for holiday over the summer, there were a bunch of restaurants, bars, different places that all were leveraging Ubiquiti equipment.
Yeah,
so
these do look really familiar.
very, very nice. The UI for setup is beautiful. Pretty much if you plug a device in out of the box, your phone lights up and says, do you want to join this to your network? And it literally just pretty much configures itself. And you can get as complex as you want with it. Like I said, they use WireGuard for their built-in VPN. You can pull the profile and kind of put it off on your PC or whatever you want to do from that perspective. But really, really nice equipment. And you can actually, it'll map your entire network. So like I know if I pick the Xbox that's in my basement, it tells me which port on which switch it's plugged into, what kind of bandwidth it's getting, all of it. They do individual bandwidth consumption across every device. So you can see what kind of Wi-Fi quality you're getting. So I've just dipped my toe in the water, and I will say, be careful getting some of this equipment, because it's like visiting a drug dealer from what I hear. I'm already planning like, oh, they sell floodlights. Oh, they sell external cameras. Oh, they sell doorbells. Like the typically their gateways also have built-in SSD, so you can actually expand out and do all kinds of stuff. They also sell NAS storage, so you can play till your heart's content with your home network, as well as pretty much any kind of home automation equipment.
Nice. Awesome. Go check that out. Yeah, it's I definitely see those.
UI.com.
I definitely see those from place to place too. So, and I dropped that into the document as well. So, anyways, moving along, Riz. Let's go to the other end of this lineup over here. Riz, what is your awesome thing of the year?
So my awesome thing of the year is how indie developers and games have been on the forefront more than ever. Like before, we had like Five Nights at Freddy with Scott Cawthon and all that, doing all that stuff. But now it's everywhere. Like we played a couple games here in the studio, Little Kitty Big City. We played Vampire Survivors at one point. We played a whole bunch of other stuff on that. But one game I really want to play, and it actually was a huge success this past week, was a game called Bellatro.
Okay, and what is this?
It's like so how can I explain this? It's a roguelike game that's also like a poker game.
What is roguelike for those that don't know?
So roguelike is more like actually, that's a good question.
I think it's a generated. I think it's a generated thing. Like levels are not predetermined.
Yes. Like everything's different, which is amazing. Because in this game, it's like it starts off like any other poker game where it's like aces high, stuff like that. But then it goes into like, oh, there's like a different sets of cards that are in the deck, or you can use for power ups. You can use a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like everything's different, like you said. So it's just a different experience each time you play.
Like it.
Now it won, like, and the best part about this is, like I said, last week there was the Game Awards. They were up for Game of the Year.
That's what yeah, Game Awards. Somebody was watching the Game Awards while we were driving back from Thursday Night Fights, and I was like, they said like the Game of the Year, and I'm like, the Game of the Year candidates, and I'm like, I don't know any of these. I think there was a Final Fantasy in there, and that was
Final
it.
Fantasy. There was a DLC for Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Astrobot, which I've heard is an amazing game.
which one?
Which won?
Yeah,
And
Sony
then it had
exclusive.
Bellatro in this, which
Okay.
is
So they had a card game in Game of the Year.
yes,
That's amazing.
which means
Wow.
like there's something to that because
It's by the way, it's like it's a $15 game.
yeah, and it's pretty much like I think it only like I want to say only one person actually made the game. Like
Jeez.
like and if you and one of the things is the one big award that they won was of course indie game of the year. And excuse me, one of the things that happened was the guy that or the company that made the game wasn't there, so they actually
The one guy.
the one guy, so he actually to take his place he asked an indie developer that wasn't on the list to come up and accept the award for him. And he goes, the guy goes, I'm doing this, and if I win the game, if Bellatro wins the Game of the Year, it's gonna be another person, but it's to spotlight the young, like the smaller companies, because you have your Elden Rings, you have your PlayStations, you have your Final Fantasies, you have Marvel coming in with their games, but like just having that indie developer to be like, hey, we want to spotlight you. We want to spotlight those the little guys that are in this field that don't get enough credit. And in that speech, he the recipient said that like the people that were in this award should also have this award. And it's like, I mean, what else? Like, I can't explain how indie games this year have been huge. Just a bunch, like a lot of streamers have just started playing these games that are just.
I think it's more appreciated, especially as we're talking, over the last couple of years about how developers are being kind of treated.
Yes.
So like that's been a big conversation with things too. Was the labor issue.
That was actually another conversation.
And the companies, and they're so huge and laying people off, versus this is more appreciated because this is blood, sweat, and tears in this. Yeah. And then also like these aren't like big sprawling 80-hour epics. But they're a good time.
It's addicting, but you can put it down anytime.
Absolutely. Like you guys played Little Kitty Big City in like 2 plays, which was like 3 or 4 hours a piece, but still like, that was a nice, Stray was the same way. It was a nice little 5-hour game. It's not overwhelming, it's not this sprawling epic, it's an
indie perfect game. Like, it's just straightforward.
And you don't have problems with it like you seem to be having with Indiana Jones. Is it crashing your Xbox? Is that what you're telling me?
It's not even Indiana Jones.
Okay.
It's even like the games that I've been playing.
Oh, it's like stuff like this?
Not like that. No.
Okay.
But like the bigger games that I've been playing, it just shuts off.
Okay. Well, that's a problem. Yeah. I hope you're under warranty then. So you should look at that.
That sounds like it's overheating.
Yeah. He's got a Series S like I do, but I haven't seen that. But I've seen some like the menu has been a little wonky and slow lately, I've noticed. Yeah. So like I've noticed that across both my Xboxes. So, but of course one's like an OG one, so it's not. Yeah, I don't expect it to go smooth.
I wouldn't expect that to be going.
Yeah, it's like loading the latest OS on like a 10-year-old iPhone. So we know how that goes. Anyways, going down the line, Dave Potter, since you're sharing the mic over there.
Move the mic over
yeah. Why not?
So I don't want to pinpoint only one thing. I think it's how AI has been integrated into so many things.
Okay.
And the example I gave in the chat is something that Adobe just added to its desktop Photoshop with a plugin called Camera Raw. And I just found out about it last night, actually, on my other podcast. And
The iPhoneography podcast.
IPhoneography podcast, yes, where Dwight, who's our newest member of our team, he does all his editing in Photoshop on his Mac.
I'm in the wrong link. I got confused.
Nope. And so, I do all my editing on my phone. He does it on a real computer, but they just rolled out, and we're getting to the point where they're just going to say things like, this is a new feature, instead of just saying, this is our new AI-powered feature. And the new feature basically removes reflections from photos. So if you're taking a photo from outside through a window, you have a reflection there, it's hard to see. It's really hard to clean up. So what Adobe did, and they just added this in with this plugin, you basically push a button and the reflection goes away. It's like the reflection's not even there.
Wow.
And there's a slider, so you can slide from only seeing the reflection to seeing none of the reflection. And it's just unfortunately the video, I mean, like, you can, like, it, the reflection just completely goes away. It's like it's like you're not even shooting through a window. But then you can slide it back and see the reflection like you're taking a photo of the reflection.
I like it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's this kind of stuff where things that used to be so complicated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you had to have so much skill, and now it's push a button.
Yeah.
I wonder what that. I wonder what that's like looking through like a lake.
Like a lake?
Like, you know how like if you're trying to look, like, I've taken pictures from bridges across creeks trying to get pictures of fish or things that are actually under the water. And you're right, it's like very meticulous and a big huge pain in the butt to focus through the reflection of different things. You almost hope for kind of like a cloudy, semi-cloudy, overcast day. I'd be interested in how this does with those types of reflections.
Yeah, especially something like when you're looking through water like that, is polarized light, and so instead of having to carry a polarization filter everywhere, which I know they do have for phones, you can actually just get a case and put a thing on it and just put like a magnetic filter for polarization on your phone. But who wants to carry that per se?
Yeah.
Pain in the butt. Or if you're off doing something, you may not have it on you. If you can do it in software and it looks like it's hardware use, it's not a software fix. But I think it's more and more things are just going to be more like, oh, we're no longer dealing with. Yeah, you can see, right?
Yeah, the reflection there. Yeah,
you're actually see when he moves this thing.
Yeah,
the reflection looks like you're taking a photo. It doesn't look like a reflection.
Wow.
And I think more and more things are going to be added in, and we've seen that already, where things that you wouldn't think right now they're still a little bit calling out as this is our AI feature,
right?
But I think certain companies are kind of like Apple saying, we're just adding this in without calling it AI.
Well, I think that's part of because there's such stigma around generative AI that they're trying to get away from that language.
And it's kind of white noise at this point.
Right.
Yeah. To like say that.
AI.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're like, oh yeah, of course everything is. So that means it means nothing now as a phrase. So, but that's very cool. So that's just a part. It's the reflection removal tool in Adobe, presumably Photoshop or
for the desktop.
Well, they're showing this in the Camera Raw app in this version. So it should be across the board.
I'm not overly familiar with the desktop Photoshop, but you start in Photoshop, you go into that, and you go into the Camera Raw into that. So.
Yeah, so that thing that always updates that I never end up using. I didn't know I thought it was like file types support or something like that. I didn't realize it's its own app. So, but I'm not getting in the photos like that as much. So, anyways. All right, moving down to Eamon. What is your awesome thing of the year?
I don't have anything linked. I kind of
that's fine.
I struggled a little bit thinking about what the only thing I can think of, and it's like super niche. I understand, but and I only think about this because me and Marlon actually had a conversation. I think yesterday about this actually. So I think Sorg knows this. I'm very like susceptible to like advertising in just media in general right now. Like I'm very like I don't like to be sold something over like I get very nitpicky in terms of feeling like attacked by ads, attacked by like, just bombarded really. And I think technology has in the last like maybe 10 years you could say or so has like really struggled with that in certain ways. Obviously, they're just going to in many ways hit you whatever they can.
Mhm.
I really fell in love with the TikTok shop in the last year. I think that
Perfect timing, even.
I know, right?
Just in time for Christmas.
Get
Yeah,
your shopping in
exactly.
the next
Last
however many
Christmas.
For the
days.
final Christmas.
But like and maybe the algorithm there has a large part to do with it. I think, and obviously a lot of people have talked about TikTok's algorithm being very unique and sort
Mhm.
of ideal for many people. But like it's rare that I would be in an environment like TikTok where I can get ads, and it's pretty frequent when I think about it in terms of like maybe like every 5 videos at this point. But like and focusing on a lot of sort of local products like or not local but home independent homegrown products, like people like coming up with their own small businesses and using it to market in that way, I think has been really fun to see. It makes you feel more invested, that you're not being, I guess, in that mentality, like not being bombarded by these large companies trying to, get whatever they can at you in terms of content, to know that it's coming from something a little more less mainstream, I should say, is nice to see. And it's just, like I said, I haven't been in that funk when it comes to getting those ads.
Mhm.
And I think that's hopefully could be a benchmark into how people can do it going forward.
Awesome. So TikTok shops. Well,
Again,
for at
enjoy it
least
for the next month.
the next almost 30 days. For the next 32 days, enjoy TikTok shop. So, and also just as a qualifier, I don't want to get into the whole debate about the TikTok and whether it should be, whatever they're doing with it. But also consider, TikTok, if you have it on your phone, TikTok is allegedly not going away.
Correct.
Like
Right. You just won't be able to get
updates
and-
or download it to new phone or anything like
Right.
that. So like you can continue at least for the time being. And I feel like there's going to be a mushy period there where they're going to figure something out.
Yeah.
There's too much money. When
That's what I
there's
think.
too much money involved for them not to figure this out.
Right.
And that is, and especially since it's a stated thing from the new administration to handle this thing supposedly. So whether that actually happens, but if there's enough outcry, I think there will be, so
I just also think, and it kind of gets into my prediction too, but
Mhm.
like this could, I've always found the conversation about it going away very interesting, because I see it also as a way to just model for new apps going forward as well.
which
Like,
it kind of has.
which it kind of has. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
discussion about
So-
like, the alternative to come
Yeah.
in terms of TikTok, but like I just feel as though like I look at all of these different apps, all these different things as just like benchmarks in history, and something
Mhm.
new and great will come along. And
Yep.
I think that's where I kind of view it through that lens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I kind of wonder if there's going to be like a blue sky version of TikTok.
Well,
Yeah.
that is
there?
actually my prediction.
Oh,
Yes.
we will put a pin in that for a moment. My awesome thing of the year was discovering Disney. Actually,
yes, that
First
newfangled
time?
thing called
that newfangled thing called
For the
Disney
first
World
time
and
ever,
Land.
Sorg?
For the first time ever in March, we went to Disney because I realized, oh my God, I'm working right down the street from these. Why have I not done this? So thank you to both Katie and Amanda for showing me the ways of Disney. Because one of the things was I've been always kind of nervous. Disney made me Disney was anxiety ridden.
It's a lot.
The idea of going there was like I couldn't get over that hump.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was like, let's go. Katie showed me how to do Magic Kingdom. We
Mhm.
went to Disneyland and did Star Wars night. And then I took Missy we did the entire 4-park thing at Disney World because I wanted to share that with her and see the rest of the parks. And I'm such a freaking Disney World park head now. So I am so Disney adult, and it's amazing. It is like the pinnacle of parks. You know what I mean? Even when you go somewhere, it's Dollywood. Yes, Dollywood was great too, Mom. But still, like, that's that was a really cool thing, and that was a really good non-work thing for me. This year is to go explore that. And I'm already looking at Disneyland here when we go to California in early April. So it's the only time work brings me close to a Disney, though. So I'm just like, okay, we need to figure out another time to get down there. So plus, still got to see my mother take my mother down to see the Epcot ball that she apparently worked on when she was doing an internship. So
oh wow,
as a drafter, yes. But anyways. That is our awesome. I think I got everything for our awesome things of the year, right? Yes. All right. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, our awesome supporters that have been supporting this show for a good long time here over at patreon.com/awesomecast. If you're over there, you actually we're going to do a live feed all night for Patreon for both feeds, basically, for the Mayhem Show and this, just to make it easier on myself, because after I'm done with this Dunkin', I'm going to start drinking some White Claws, because it's that time of the year. But anyways, no boot. Well, we'll see how this goes. Anyways, thank you to everybody that does support the show at patreon.com/awesomecast. Cynthia Klosky, Michael Fedor, John DeGore, and Dave Potter. Hey, so the camera on you. That's cool. So I'm moving the camera for the first time because I'm trying to like keep up on all of this over here. So I'm a camera person, plus I'm directing, plus I'm hosting. This is fine.
Sorg's a man of many talents.
Yes, and all at the same time, apparently. Thank you, everybody that supports the show. So before we get into predictions, we have the shaming period of the show. Time for the shame. So we have, and I got to figure out where I put them.
Insert GIF of what was it? Game of Thrones, the shame person.
Shame. Weren't they naked? No, we're not going to do that. We can't get away with that one. All right, here are the predictions for 2024. Let's start with the people that can't defend themselves. Dutters says. More tech products will be pulled because of intellectual property lawsuit, and that is at the time it was the Apple Watch lawsuit about the blood oxygen detector, right? So I don't think that happened.
Wasn't there a thing? Was it this year with whatever her name is, her? Who started her?
Oh, the okay. So that wasn't. So that was trade. That's or not intellectual property, but that's God, is it the trademark? No, it's impersonation. So you're talking about OpenAI had the voices, and one of them sound a lot like Scarlett Johansson. So sort of.
That's a quarter. I'll give Dutters a quarter of a point.
A quarter of a point. I think it was more
by intellectual property. We mean people.
Likeness, is that like it falls
that's
under
likeness? That's a likeness. No, this is the idea of IP, as in like they had a patent on a blood oxygen meter that would go in like a watch type device, and that's why they've disabled it. And I think maybe my watch has one, and so anything new they've disabled it. The device is still in there, like the part I believe is still in there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sheila. But yeah, so she actually has 4 of them in here.
You could probably jailbreak that to get it.
Oh, absolutely. Probably. I'm sure somebody has. Experience with ChatGPT will start popping up on the job market descriptions. I think that's very much out there. Prompting is definitely in there.
There's definitely like even full on jobs that are like working with AI, working with AI and stuff like that.
I was given a
there's a whole thing on prompt engineering. Like there's a lot of jobs.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
None of them seem to actually be hiring though.
Yeah, there's that too. Even to the point where I'm seeing it pop up in my work. Like I had a script that I was editing and it was like, hey, why is this weird? And there's actually a note is like, hey, ChatGPT got weird here. I'm like, oh, okay. Like my clients are using ChatGPT to generate a script for me to edit to. And obviously we're also with the understanding, take liberties with this because this is what it did and it doesn't actually apply here. Like some of the because there was a whole thing about you need to go through here in this office and you have student projects, and it's like that didn't apply to what we were talking about, kind of things like the shots it wanted us to do. But it was a good starting point. So we're actually in the middle of that video right now, so I'm excited to see how that turns out in the next few weeks here. She also says we finally get a pet translator. I think she goes for this every year.
She does.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
This is a Dutters thing.
This is a
It's
Dutters
just
yearly
hopes
thing.
and wishes.
Hopes and wishes. And she also said Katie will be using her Dunkin' Boo Cup still. I've definitely seen her going around with that. Yeah. She still had it on the show, I think, when we had this one. So, but anyways, can somebody, Riz, can you message Katie and ask her for predictions for the show if she's got a minute? Just if she wants to send a couple over. So I know she may be busy with some hockey people, but Sheila, it's your turn. You look nervous.
You're looking for a prediction.
No. You're one from last year.
What was my last year?
You
I
said
can't
that
remember.
AI will run out of compute and become more costly than imagined until people figure out how to securely spread it to endpoints like SETI.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet.
No. Do you see that? You're going to roll over your prediction for the next year? We're talking about it. But
And I think it's going to be, you know what? I don't know if we're going to run out. I guess my thing was going to be this year. I think we're going to become more reliant and you're going to see a lot more from a green initiative and enterprise or environmental sustainability.
will we?
Well as,
Will we?
energy consumption. You might see the U.S. buying electricity from Canada because I think we're going to have I think before we run out of compute, we're going to have an energy problem.
Well, next up is me. And I predicted that, there I am, AI will generate video as well as we're enjoying images right now. That literally just happened.
Yeah, like
So,
a week or two ago,
yes,
right?
yes, that was almost my awesome thing.
videos of it,
I
Sorg.
keep posting videos of luchadors podcasting
Unicorns playing soccer.
and that was Missy doing the
That
unicorns
was
versus
Missy.
rhinoceroses playing soccer.
Okay, that's
Okay,
fabulous.
yeah.
Yeah, so Kid Mantle also can't defend himself. We will finally get a pet. No, that's the wrong one. AI music will take off, maybe a full album.
Yeah.
The music.
Yes. I will give that. I've
Yes.
seen that happen.
Yes.
I've seen that happen.
Okay.
Actually, the podcast I was listening to, called Dude's Eat, that's no longer there, did a whole thing where one of their hosts made a whole country song out of AI.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's the one I was going around.
Hasn't there been going over TikTok a not a Christmas song that was supposedly written by AI?
Oh
I
yeah.
want to say.
Uh-huh.
About Santa and
Uh-huh.
chimneys
Yep.
and other things going on.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And
Definitely saw that one.
There also has been like the I typed making AI make AI create a country song
Mhm.
out of and call it like some weird name, and it's out there. So
It's
yeah.
being used for podcast intro music, things like that generate, like it's gotten, I remember the samples where it was just super weird and computerized when like there was a Google samples like 2 years ago. But yeah, it's kind of at that point. But that's when you need like generic, like it. I think if it replaces anything, it replaces royalty free music.
Yeah.
Or fun TikTok things, like you're talking about, right? Like it's not replacing like Kid Mental or Beyonce or Taylor Swift
Right.
or
It's
anything
not
like
charting
that.
anywhere.
No,
This
no,
is
no.
going to be memes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and maybe further down the line, but you can't go see an AI perform.
No.
That's going to be a big difference. Dave Potter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you predicted that tech pundits will be disappointed over all Apple products in 2024, especially the iPhone 16.
Well, I will say this. A lot of people were disappointed because pundits, not people.
Yes,
Pundits.
are not real people.
Well,
That's true.
their perspectives are different from the average person.
Yes.
They were very disappointed about the iPhone 16 because there was a lot of, there's no difference between the 15 and 16. If you
But
get
they
a phone
say that all
every-
the time.
I know. But
They say that all the time, but there's a vast difference between what I have, which is the 11, and what's out there
Exactly,
now. So it's
exactly.
like,
However, I will give myself wrong because people were blown away with the Mac Mini.
Yes.
Completely blown away with it.
well, and
Mhm.
Apple Intelligence is also like I've heard some good things about that.
They
Mostly good.
they just put in like ChatGPT stuff, and I barely got into it. So
Yeah.
and
yeah, and the image playground.
it's
works,
an
not
advanced
great.
emojis actually. So
Well,
it seems to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like fun though. I
Yeah.
like that.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing with Apple Intelligence is the fact that it's included on your device.
Mhm,
I mean,
mhm.
Right.
not for security reasons. You don't have to download a program. You don't have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go to a
yeah, yeah.
Right.
website.
It's
there.
native.
And you
Yeah.
can, if you have an account, you can log in to ChatGPT, and now that's a part of it too. I did the setup. I haven't done too much playing, a little bit in the playground, and that's about it. But there is a button. Actually, I did have it rewrite something because I had I had this like bad news email I need to send a client here soon. So I was just writing out the ideas, and it's like, here, rewrite this.
Mhm.
So obviously it's easier. It obviously is better if it's like in your mail or something like that, because I think it does it in there. But you can still do it in messages and stuff like that. That reminds me, I recorded a call with my wife last night, and I've never used that. I haven't used that feature yet. I need to see what it does. So,
But I will say, like, using the Apple Intelligence to like to take a picture of what you're like, whatever you're looking at, having it describe it to you is actually very interesting. I would highly
Really?
recommend if you have the capability to use.
So that's the
To use
camera
it and
control
try it.
button. You just kind of push and hold, right?
Yep. I think that's what. Yeah. Let me
Not
see.
Sorg actually
I,
testing it.
I just recorded video apparently when I did it. So wait, so I press.
So-
It just does
So
video.
I'm going to take a picture of the top of the monitor with everyone
Okay.
sitting up. It switched to me.
Oh, you want to do this? Okay, take a picture of that.
There you go.
Take a picture of that picture. Okay. And
I'm asking.
it's asking questions.
No, because I switched. This looks like a group of people participating in a podcast or live stream, possibly discussing topics or providing entertainment as indicated by the microphones and setup.
Wow.
Whoa.
What the hell?
But that could be really useful for generating alt text
Yeah.
for accessibility reasons. That's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just did it on the Christmas tree. Well, first of all, Sorg, you have to unlock your phone first.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I just.
That's why. Otherwise, you just do. So I had the same issue. It says, and so I did the Christmas tree. I pushed it. It did its thing, and I said when the chat that popped up under ask, I pushed ask, and I said describe this item. I said the item is a Christmas tree decorated with purple garland and lights. It stands in a cozy living room, contributing to a festive holiday ambiance.
Well, we
It
do live in
does
here.
look. It does look like a living room.
From this angle, looking down. Yeah.
So, okay. I have to play with it. I must have. Is it the side button that needs to be pushed?
Yep. Hold. So leave the camera. Get out of the camera app.
Get out of the
Get
camera.
out of the camera app.
Okay.
Like from the home screen.
Oh, from the home
screen,
screen.
And then
Hold
just
the
kind
button
of
down.
point it and then
Oh, it got continue. Okay. Now what?
What's your?
I'm pointing at the tree. Do I
So hit
just
the-
take a
hit
picture
the
from
button.
here? No, and then I ask.
Podder's helping.
Okay, and then I hit continue, and then it's asking ChatGPT. Does yours ask ChatGPT?
So it depends on. So you.
Depends
have
on- so I
yours
have it set up.
Use ChatGPT
Christmas tree
versus-
decorated with purple to lights in front of a video camera. Suggest a festive recording or live stream event,
Hey,
possibly
that's
capturing
us.
holiday greetings or celebrations. Okay, then.
Hey, before,
Pretty spot on.
before we go on, I do
Mhm.
have predictions for Dutters.
Predictions from Dutters. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I got everybody. Let's go ahead and do that. Well, no, I got Ponder. The rest of Ponders. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we need to shame Ponder more. X will be almost unusable as we get towards the general election.
You know,
No, that's correct.
I mean that is I would say that is not an objective opinion. That may be a personal opinion.
Unusable, as in
It was still functional.
It function. Well, I would say define function. You could not go on to function as in if you have a house
Mhm.
where the plumbing doesn't work and the electricity only works half the time, is the house livable? Yes.
Okay.
But
yeah.
in terms of a place that, as it was in the past,
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for breaking news
Mm-hmm.
from a variety of sources,
That is broken because they all left.
That is broken.
Yes,
right
I got
now.
you. I got you. So the purpose has changed.
There
Right.
were also,
Therefore.
I mean, there were some functionality stuff.
There
like
has
with
been, yes.
like with the whole For You element of it,
Yes.
especially for me at least.
Yes.
And I'm someone who I was able to deal with X for a period of time because I was
Mhm.
able to curtail sort of my experience
Mhm.
on that For You page to a certain
Use those
extent.
mute words.
Yeah, but it didn't always work. And
Sometimes the mute words are in ads.
And
And they
That's
push
a big
them
problem.
through. That's where it
sucked.
became. That's where
yeah.
it be. No, it got very weirdly political. Like not just political. It got like fringe political on my ads that I have definitely
Yep.
curated over
It's snowballed.
time.
Oh,
it
it-
definitely did.
It went beyond political for me. I started getting religious ads that
Yeah.
had nothing to do with political.
Yeah, so like the ads got bad. The ads were for all ED products, and like it looks like all the stuff that would be on the news program at like 2 in the morning.
You have
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you have like
It was not TikTok shopping.
no,
It was not TikTok shop.
They
No,
were
no,
selling
no.
like crypto, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Like this is
It got weird, and
got
also
really
they were tricky ads.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Like they were not. They
they
were
just
not.
look like posts.
They had ad in the corner, but they were like, yeah, well, they've like, and they always kind of looked like posts, but these were like worse. Like
Oh yeah,
they're definitely in the no, we're trying to trick you phase.
Yeah.
Which is you can kind of tell the quality of an app by the kind of ads that they run.
and you can't block the account.
And you
Nope.
can't block. I just say it's offensive every time.
Yeah,
So
Um,
I would give Podner half on that.
Yeah, you get a
So
half.
there
on
is because there is
well,
some
he's
functionality.
not done with this topic, and
Oh.
these are topics I don't like to get into on the show. But Elon has a meltdown, and it will affect X, but only minorities, Tesla, and no effect on SpaceX. That's about right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Tesla Tesla's been in trouble, and partially isn't in a downturn based on what the stocks are doing.
Yeah.
So
and the
what-
biggest problem is
well,
Which
the
is a-
Cybertruck is also a laughing
Well, there's
stock,
also
so-
that, but it was
remember when the Cybertruck came out, there were people who put. And I mean, it was only $1,000 big for me. But if you're going to buy $100,000 truck,
Mhm.
$1,000 to put down as a
same as they did with the
reserve
first
is-
car.
is-
Yeah.
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 But they only sold 30,000 of them.
Mhm.
And they are on the lot right now, ready to pick up.
Mhm.
There are
Mhm.
tons of inventory, and it's
I feel like there's a
Seven-
lot of them around here because I
Oh
keep
my
saying
God,
them
I
all
see
the
them.
time.
It's been terrible around here. Yeah.
no, you do see them, but I think part of it is they are so distinctive looking. They're
Yeah.
very easy to pick out.
It's like when
Yeah.
you get a car and then you notice your car everywhere.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
I think it's more that we all know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Can't miss it.
No,
And now we're just like,
you don't realize how small.
and
it
we
is
do
either.
live in a city
Yeah,
so it's
looks
going
like-
to be here.
it looks like PlayStation 1 Need for
Oh,
Speed.
absolutely.
I'm sorry, I
But,
can't.
but I think a lot of the problem with Tesla is the people who would buy Teslas, who would buy an electric car because I'm trying to do something good for the environment.
Mhm.
Elon pissed off personally.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
So they're like, you know what? There's options.
yeah.
there are.
There's options now, and I don't want to go with this car because of the owner.
It will be
Right.
very fascinating to see how that rolls with this just situations out
Yes.
there that we won't get into. All right, now we can have your predictions. Let's start with Dutters. Riz.
So, of course, the first thing is
Her boot cup.
an app to understand pets.
Okay, there we go. As you should.
Then she mentioned we'll see Sorg in the metaverse.
Sure.
Are you going to the metaverse, Sorg?
I don't know. I don't think I can afford a
But
headset.
her actual prediction is that Coca-Cola will start a trend of major brands partnering with AI companies for their photos and videos for major campaigns.
You need to send me that because I'm not writing all that.
Can you summarize that in Apple Intelligence?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, Riz, what's your prediction since we're on you?
Good question. My prediction is going to be that we're going to see more. Like right now, we're seeing AI in video games with Power World. I don't know if you heard about Power
How
World.
is that happening with Pal World? Power World is kind of this like
So Power World
Monster Hunter World meets Pokemon kind of idea.
It's straight up Pokemon.
Okay.
Like it's Pokemon with guns. But
okay, that's a better description.
Yeah. But I'm predicting that there will be more along those lines of
how is AI applied in there?
The AI generated monsters.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
Like it's very AI generated when you look at it.
Okay.
Because it's taking it straight from like a Pokemon or Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell completely, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
straight up licensing.
Like it's definitely doing this via, I guess it wouldn't be an LLM, but it's doing like it's an AI model that's doing this.
Yes.
And then generating them and sticking them in the game.
Yes.
Okay.
With guns. But
with guns.
But I feel like more companies are going to start producing that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like more companies are going to look at that and be like, oh, we can just screw around and find out what's going on with this. So play around a little bit, make a game, make it like a testing site, and be like, "There's the game." But yeah, there's that.
Oh, okay.
What else do I got? I feel like the new Nintendo system, which is probably like the Switch 2, is going to come out this year, and it will be very much along the lines of older Nintendo. I think it will be a flop. Like I feel like I feel like the Switch right now is good, but I feel like Nintendo's trying hard.
They're always good at a new concept. They're never great with the follow-up.
Yes.
Yes.
Like with the Wii and the Wii U.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like...
So this will be a Switch U.
This will be a Switch U.
Yeah.
Like the Switch was revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Like having the controllers as well as the screen, as well as playing it on the monitor, like having that be that like that. But I feel like they're going to try too hard on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I got.
All right, Ponder, how about you?
Okay. So one I have is that social media will be even more fractured. Whether the TikTok ban goes or doesn't go, people who are heavy on TikTok are looking for alternatives, especially people who have a major bit of their income coming through TikTok. There are some followers I have on TikTok who, on TikTok, they have 1.2 million followers, and on Instagram, they have 50,000. And they're right because it is a good source of income for a lot of people in terms of the creator fund. So they're right now searching for somewhere else to go to. They don't want to do Instagram because Meta.
Yeah.
They sure as hell don't want to do. I'm sorry. Want to do X. No. Same reason. So they're like, where can we go to? And some of them are trying the lemonade, some of them are trying other things. So it's going to get fragmented even more than it already is.
Yeah.
Even if they come back and, in 3 weeks and say, oh, we came to an agreement and TikTok can stay, people are still scared because of what happened. And they're going to be, even if they post the same thing in 5 different locations, it's still going to be more fragmented.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the first one. Second one, because I have to do an Apple thing. The iPhone 17 Air, or whatever they're calling it. It won't be the follow-up to the 16. It'll be the new fancy smancy one. It'll be kind of the equivalent of the original MacBook Air, where it'll be ultra thin. It won't have all the functionality. It'll be the one that everyone wants.
Why would you want an ultra thin phone? Snap it like a cracker.
It's a style device. It's a style device. That's why.
Yeah, and I would say combination that, and I will say this: since I got the 16 Pro Max, even though the titanium is lighter than the stainless in my 13, it's just of the size. If I want to take a selfie with my arm out, I can't hold it with one hand and hit the shutter button
Mm.
because it's
Mhm.
too heavy. And
Mhm.
if I'm trying to hold it like this,
Mhm.
and I'm
Right.
trying to get that button right there, but
Yeah.
hold on to it,
Mhm.
but it's like I can't do it. That's
Yeah.
that's why the side button's really good for that.
Yeah.
It's right
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
but you jiggle. So having something a little bit lighter, or but it'll be more of an executive, like I said, the original MacBook Air, not useful. They had a little flap to go out to connect your USB because it was so thin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, but you could fit it into an envelope,
Yeah. I remember the
and
envelope.
it was underpowered.
Yeah.
It wasn't spec'd up, but it was expensive.
I want to see them fit this one in like a gift card envelope. You know,
You can put this phone in your wallet.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and I would say this I would say within 3 years, you will find
Mm-hmm.
a foldable iPad and maybe foldable iPad.
I think it's going to happen. They're going to solve the crease problem.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
But
thing.
it's going to be a couple years out. And I would say
I'm not counting that because you
definitely
said in a few years.
in a few
I'm not-
years.
I'm
not-
I'm not writing that
next
down.
year, no.
So
Because that's the one thing that keeps me from being interested in the foldable Razor, the Motorola Razor, is because that gap, that weird, or not that
That line.
accordion line in the middle is, I couldn't do that.
So checking in, Chilla, are you still with us? Ah, there he is. There he is. Well, you're muted on your end, I think. You're muted.
Now I'm talking on mute.
There you
Yeah,
go.
my monitor clipped out, so I climbed around it and unplugged it and plugged it back in. So I didn't want you seeing random shots of my chest and stomach.
I mean, you're already wearing the algorithm breaking shirt right there. I realized. So, what is your prediction?
I think we're going to have an energy issue. Like I said, I think it's going to be AI is going to continue to consume more and more. And if you see like some of the interconnects from for the ISPs that have changed kind of what they're going to do from a data center perspective, I think it's primarily around how they're getting power to their data centers. I think there's going to be a draw on electricity and power to the point where we're either going more solar or trying to find creative ways to generate power, or we're going to end up having to source power from other countries like Canada, primarily around the in the AI space.
Mm-hmm. We're not just gonna kick on all those old nuclear reactors and make this happen.
I'm sorry, you're like, for me, and I actually checked you out on Facebook to see if it would, something with what's coming through Zoom to my end is like heavily muffled
I
and
think
bassy.
okay. I think I understand why. So we'll work on that here in a second. I think we had a rough setup here. So but anyways, we got you. Awesome. Eamon, what's yours?
The one I really think of, and I agree with Ponder on the social media splintering aspect of what's to come. I think I also see a lot of innovation on the rise in the different social media platforms that, different things popping up, different, people trying stuff out. And I really think that if I can predict anything, I think there's going to be a social media platform that we are not talking about currently that is going to be major by the end of the year.
Could be Lemonade.
Could be Lemonade.
I had to remind myself what it was.
I don't think it's going to be Lemonade.
No,
I
That's
think,
just
it's,
me.
I think it can be something that we that's not even out.
It's not.
Okay.
I think
it's going to be like a blue sky and it could be out of nowhere.
I think that we have the potential. I think it's in the way that like how Potter's mentioning that people are striving to find something new. I think there's going to be also creators trying to.
Plus, you have a set of people that are used to being social online
Yes.
and feel constricted.
Yes.
So I think people are going to be striving for that, and somebody's going to like, what is missing from all of these? This is it. Put it out, right?
Yeah.
Plurk 2025. Let's go.
Oh my God!
No, it's got to be tout. It's got to be tout. It's got to be tout.
Merlin.
Well, along those same lines, if we don't get the whole TikTok thing figured out, My prediction is that what tries and probably will succeed in largely taking its space is something that's in development right now called Neptune. I have been seeing them talk about this app on, oddly enough, TikTok. And it is a very much a TikTok like app in that there will be the ability to monetize, and it's the swipeable video format that we're all used to and we love. But it's a personalized, customizable algorithm. So it's not an algorithm that is set by the app. It's one, yes, it is one that you're able to set your own way. So you're able to set, you're going to be able to set different with sliders. You're going to be able to customize what portion of your algorithm is what portion of your interests.
I love what you have here. No algorithmic gatekeeping, unlike YouTube. Real connections over quick hits, unlike TikTok. Interactive creates community, unlike Netflix. Like I love their like they have comparison points on there.
Well, and it's nice because they've had so much that has come before and done things wrong. And so they're able to learn from that and try to fix those issues. Beta should be coming out soon. So I think they said the other day that beta is about half full. I am proudly part of that. So hopefully I will get access to that soon. And then we are hoping in the next few months should be able to see an actual app hit the App Store. But I'm really excited about it, and I say we as if I'm part of it. I'm not. I'm just gonna. I'm signed up to be
the royal
beta
we.
testing.
You're a beta. You're a part of it.
So to me, it seems like it has the most chance to fill that space, even if it doesn't do it the same, even if it's not as big as. It seems like it's going to be as close as we can get to a TikTok-like app. So that's my prediction is that Neptune takes that over.
If TikTok, if they somehow come up with a deal to be still on there, do you think that's going to affect it as much, or do you think it's going to be more?
I think it will, because there has been some unrest in the way that TikTok works, in that people are not able to, like, even for years, if I follow someone on TikTok, they all of a sudden are no longer on my For You page. And that has been a thing since the beginning. So all of a sudden, I can't find the people that I actively want to follow, and you can customize with Neptune how much of your algorithm is people that you follow, how many are people that you are actually friends with, how many are, creators in this certain arena. Like, you can fine tune all of those things and really create an experience that is all your own.
I like that. And that might be it, because I think you're also going to have, I think what you're seeing now, and actually let me make this my prediction. I think you're going to see more and more people flock to your Blue Skies and things like that are not. I think people are starting to see, much like, the anti-billionaire, the anti-tech sector, the Silicon Valley ideal, that was all utopian 15 years ago, that really got me exciting at the time. I think everybody's seeing through that, and I think I need to write this down so I remember it. But anyways, so I think you're going to see maybe an AI at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen in AI, because AI takes so much capital. Right. That I can't see. Like, it's not exactly a startupable thing from kind of thing. Unless it comes from the top down, maybe from government or something. And I just don't see that happening right now. Or somebody with a lot of money and very altruistic. Again, I don't see a lot of that happening right now. Maybe if Mark Cuban decides to start an AI. I think people are going to be like, I'm done with a Mark Zuckerberg or an Elon or a whoever runs Microsoft and Google doing their thing, I think people are just like, where can we just exist? I think they're gonna flock toward these smaller apps, or everybody's gonna learn what a Fediverse is. And I think that's growing more and more. Just looking at, like, we mentioned Fediverse first in a video, and that's one of those that popped in the last month for us, right?
Yeah.
So the conversation's there, and I think it's going to start socially becoming a conversation outside of us tech heads that have a podcast. You know what I mean?
And it's not even just that. We like Riz, like you were talking about with the Game Awards, it's already starting with stuff like that, with indie games winning awards that are not like last year. You would have never thought that would happen. Smaller indie things are starting to take over, because I think we're starting to see the value of connecting as community as opposed to connecting to large conglomerate
Right.
things.
And in the vein of the video game aspect of it, you have big companies like EA that is a crap company.
Yeah.
You have
You heard it here first.
Ubisoft and
You
Blizzard.
have Ubisoft, you have Blizzard,
Mhm.
all these companies, all in the news about being complete jerks.
Mhm.
And like, this was even brought up by an award. I think it was like I forget what it was called, but it was like a community award where this guy actually hired people from those areas, from those big companies, and be like, okay, if they don't want you, come over here. Let's make a video game.
Mhm.
If they don't want you, come over here. It's fine. And it's like, and even that got a lot of flack online on like on Twitter, and being like, why is this guy doing this? This is not right. This is cool. This isn't cool. This is not
Was he
good.
poaching, or like was
He's
it the
like
idea?
They're all developing games.
Yeah. But it was just like a guy with a big company doing, or was it an independent?
It's a smaller company,
That's okay.
a very small company,
All right.
and it's like it happened. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of people, and this happened with BioWare,
Mm-hmm.
EA product, of course.
Mhm.
Like they laid off a few people. They went off to make a new game. You have people from, I think Blizzard is doing the same. Like, people that got canned from Blizzard are doing the same thing.
This reminds me, and it's not more work. I think it was more over IP. But this reminds me when everybody left, like all the superstars of the '90s in the comic book industry went off and started Image.
Yes.
Look, I mean, obviously that happened for one studio. Maybe IDW has the same story, but and Dreamwave and all those. But like it is like, actually, it feels like professional wrestling.
Yeah,
I'm really pissed at this promoter. It's a local professional. I'm really pissed at this promoter. We're going to start doing it our way over here. Like, I think that's that I think is healthy. First of all,
Yes.
that you do live in a world where you can do that, and you can get support from, because unfortunately you are beholden to a Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, because
so
what are you going to play it on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they at least know to push
Steam.
those developers
Yeah.
into big things, because they could be the next big developer.
Steam is the best thing. Like, the best thing happened.
Oh, yeah.
In a game.
Yeah.
Like, developers can go on Steam, upload
Just
their
go.
game,
Yep.
go.
It's a headier process for a lot of them, and Nintendo being the worst from my understanding, talking to developers that we know. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. But yeah, no, I can see that for sure. Like, I mean, it kind of goes there. I think everybody wants to see the little guy, because everybody feels like they're getting stomped on by the big guy.
Yeah.
In so many veins, including seeing what's happening in these industries. So,
well, and I mean, you see indie musicians taking off on social media too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's everywhere. Like, I think it's the small groups that are really going to be the path forward, and it's really going to be what is driving everything.
Yep.
Whether it's software, whether it's tech, whether it's music, whether it's indie films, anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's that, and there's more opportunity because of these platforms, right? To get
small podcast studios.
We're waiting for our moment still. We're still working away and plugging away at it over here. So, but yes. So I think we got everything and everybody. If I'm not, intern John, do you have a prediction?
I don't know. This conversation made me think about
Here, come on up. Here we go. Up to the microphone.
The reaction to industrialization, like that wave of technological progress, was romanticism, which is where you get like Frankenstein and stuff. So I'm wondering what this era's Frankenstein is going to be, because the response to industrialization, which kind of derailed like where Marxist social theory thought society was going to go, because it was like weirdly placating and it like messed everything up. But anyway, we start getting like assembly lines and machines and the alienation of workers and stuff. And then romanticism comes in and is the opposite. It's saying like, it's more transcendentalist. It's interested in nature. It's interested in ephemeral feelings and stuff. And so Frankenstein is about a dude who's playing God, who screws up and gets punished for it. So then what is our tech equivalent of that? Is it like Neuromancer, or are we going to get something new and as iconic as Frankenstein? Or are our current like media pathways, have they changed so much that we can no longer create anything as iconic as Frankenstein? Like the same way that we'll never have a pop star like Michael Jackson again, or we'll never have anything like the MASH finale again.
And back away.
Man, the MASH finale in this. That's
Great poll.
Fun fact, the top 10, if you look up like the top 10 most aired or most watched live television airings ever, the top 5 are all Super Bowls. Then it's the MASH finale. And then the next 5 are also all Super Bowls. It's extraordinarily funny.
It was a cultural moment for sure. So, yeah, who knows? I think the only thing that's going to reach that cultural popularity is WWE Raw on Netflix. Or the Mike Tyson, the next Mike Tyson fight, perhaps. So, but anyways, guys, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Chilla from the box, thank you for joining us as well. Hope you have a good holiday. You ready for the holidays with the kid?
Yeah, we're getting there. I still got a lot of wrapping to do and some final Amazon packages to hopefully be delivered. But other than that, we're good to go.
I think it's going to be a 5 below Christmas for me. Thank you, Merlin and Eamon, a gay and his NB.
On all social medias, Apple, Spotify. We're approaching, I think, 140 this week.
This week will be our 140th episode.
Wow.
And that will be out on Sunday. So all of your reality television needs are taken care of right over there.
It's just like a pro wrestling podcast.
It's honestly, there's so much parallel between wrestling and drag and reality television.
It's basically the same
It's the same shit.
Basically the
same stuff.
Dave Bonner, iPhoneography podcast, of course.
Of course, yeah, always there. And social media's Prof Pod.
Mm-hmm. And Riz.
That's all I get.
I don't know. What do you want to plug? What do you want to plug? I don't know.
I do things.
Yeah, you do things.
You can follow me on everything at Riz Plays Games. You can subscribe to me on Twitch at Riz Plays Games. If you want to throw in about because it went up to $6, or you can get Jeff Bezos to pay for it with your Twitch Prime. Also, I will be on starting in the new year. Every other Thursday, I will be on a Twitch channel called Maestria Nord to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Are you going to be the Dungeon and the Dragon?
Yes.
Just kidding.
No. Oh, no.
Yes, I will.
Riz Dragon Roar. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us here in the year. Hope you guys have a good holiday, good New Year as well. I think we're going to try to do a New Year. I realized we did a New Year's resolutions episode last year, so we may poke at that a little bit as well. So if you're in the AwesomeCast Nation, send us a video of your resolutions for this next year. I have an idea maybe for New Year's Eve, but we'll see if anybody's up for that. But it's because it is a Tuesday. New Year's Eve is a Tuesday. Just saying, So if anybody else wants to get drunk on a live stream at midnight, let me know. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you, the whole crew. Thank you, intern John, for joining us. Hope you come back in the new year. And thank you, everybody. This has been your awesome cast. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week and year.
Here, I was gonna say.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.